the RRT Boxing Show. Oh man, Mr. A here. We're going to chill out for a little bit. See if anyone decides to join myself. If not, we're going to sit here live. Talk to no one, but we're going to talk about boxing and y'all can enjoy this show on the replay. Hopefully, y'all do watch that. So, we're going to sit here. Well, I'm going to sit here and discuss a few other awards for 2018. Of course, that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss the awards for 2018 and what the month of January have to offer. How do you folks do? How do you folks do? You know, we're going to talk about the awards for 2018 and what January has to offer. We can wait a little bit longer to see if it's more than what is there to join. You know, you can type in if you have any questions. You know, we will talk for a couple minutes about some random stuff to see if more people decide to come. If not, we're gonna start talking the awards of 2018 right here on the RRT Boxing Show in about like 5 minutes. You know, we're just gonna hit it, speak it, and bam, we're gonna be gone. You know, I do believe though it was some. Now the one category that was kind of hard for me was I got the knockout, the upset. The knockout was kind of hard for me. I was kind of stuck in the later of the year. You know, I couldn't quite remember back, but I think I got some good ones. The upset, that's what it is. The upsets. I think the upset. I was more stuck in the moment in the later of the year, so there might have been some I missed. So, but we're going to discuss my point of view on the upsets and all the 2018 awards. Again, we have a small audience, so hopefully those of you on the recap will enjoy this show. We give it a few more minutes. You know, we have another head in the audience. You know, we give it like a good few minutes to see if we could get a few more, a few more. If not, like I said, we just go on and talk to it. Let's talk some random division here. And what should we hope? Let's talk some super flyweights. That is a division I think Top Rank is trying to get their little hands on. You know, they got Jerwin Akajas. Donnie's Netties just won that WBO belt. So ESPN could possibly, like I said, and America is open to a smaller division. It's there's money to be made there. I don't know how much, but it's money to be made there for sure. Like the way other countries they they support them, America will give the fighters their due, especially if some of the little ones gonna come with some thunder like Rungavise. The fact that he hits hard, people kind of are adapting to him quick because he hits hard. Like Acasas and Netis, they're long jabbers, and you know if you notice the crowds boo sometimes. You know, Yafai, he's not really crossed over with the American crowd as much as the other three champs. So that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. All right, let's do one more random division talk before we go into the 2018 awards given out by Mr. A right here on the RRT Boxing Show. One more random division talk, folks. We are going super welterweights. Very interesting that we do talk super welterweights because you know two big names and categories two of the welterweights, two of the super welterweights, excuse me, have made it to the 2018 awards given out here by Mr. A right here on the RRT Boxing Show. The 2018 awards, thank you very much. Thank you. And that's talking about Jermell Charlo, super welterweight, former WBC champion Jermell Charlo. You got the double unified champion Jarrett Hurd, WBA, IBF. He made his comeback fight against Jason Wellborn, felt him out, then took him out, did what he was supposed to do. Coming back against Julian Williams, remember he's like, I need a warm up fight against a right hand. Ain't no warm up fight, but you got to admire Jarrett Hurd. And then you got Jaime Munguia. That motherfucker, he still has what they say, the answer's still out. The answer's still out there on him. I don't know the question, whatever, but he's delivering. He's showing when he had to be, when he had the stage. He brings action. If you don't take him serious, he's gonna knock you the fuck out. He will. He's shown that. If you don't take him serious for the moment you're in the ring with him, Jaime Munguia will knock you the fuck out. So take him serious for those 36 minutes, if anything. Now, that being said, this is the RRT Boxing Show. I am your host, Mr.A. And this is Season 3, Episode 1, where we talk the 2018 awards and what the month of the new year, 2019, January, has to offer us boxing junkies. How good our fix will be, we'll discuss. But first, let's get into the category. Yes. If you're watching this, hit that thumbs up. But on the replay, if you are a new subscriber, hit that thumbs up. And if you're a new viewer, I hope you become a new subscriber. And you faithful subscribers, hit that thumbs up. Get your show known. The RRT Boxing Show with your host, Mr. A. Giving out 2018 awards right here. We are starting off with the upset. The upset, folks. How do you categorize the upset? Is it just like going off name popularity? Hey, you talk a lot of shit like Jermell Charlo. Talked a lot of shit. Obviously, him losing to Tony Harrison has been nominated as upset of the year. But not right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Now with Mr. A, that fight, folks, is coming in at number 3. Number 3. Oh, oops, sorry. Before we go to that fight, you already heard number 3. We forgot the honorable mention. The honorable mention. Give a thumbs up for the honorable mention. It was Nonito Donaire defeating Ryan Burnett in the WBSS opening round. That is an honorable mention. That was an upset. And hey, next round, please. That's how it goes down. So that's an honorable mention upset. Belt change. It was that one. You know what I mean? On paper, like whoa, that was a big upset. But honorable mention. Number 3, Charlo losing to Tony Harrison. Why that comes in number 3 and not how a lot of people have it as number 1 as the upset of the year. Let's talk about it. Let's talk boxing right here on the Ready Talk Boxing Show. Most people pick Jermell Charlo to knock Tony Harrison out because he was going to get tired. I didn't hear too many people talking about, oh, they're both good boxers and they're going to be boxing it out. It's going to be a good match. Now, you hear a lot of people say Tony Harrison's going to be holding his own. He's going to be boxing good. Jermell Charlo's going to be putting that pressure on. Harrison's probably going to get tired, and Jermell Charlo eventually is going to catch him. That's how I heard a lot of people talk about that fight. We all knew Tony Harrison was gonna box good. You know, we just thought he was gonna fade. So him improving his stamina and really doing his footwork to help him out, it's not really upset if we knew he was gonna outbox, do good for the first couple rounds, 5 rounds, and get hunted down because he's tired. He didn't get tired. He didn't get hunted down. So it's an expected fight, improved stamina, caught us off guard, upset number 3. Coming in right here, upset number 2. WBO Super Bantamweight Champion Isaac Dogboe goes down to, now I believe it was a Emmanuel Navarrete. I could have got that wrong, but it was Navarrete. That comes in, Dogboe losing the WBO Super Bantamweight to Navarrete, comes in number 2 as upset of the year. This fight, going into this fight, if you follow the show, if you follow the RRT Boxing Show, if you listen to Mr.A, you kind of heard who the fight of the year list was building up to. I was mentioning it throughout towards the end of the videos as the season was going on, as they were building up their credentials. Some people fell off, and some people went on. Did they make the final? We will find out right here on the RRT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A, the host of your show. If you're a new viewer, please become a new subscriber and let us be the host. Let me be the host of your show. Number 2, Isaac Dogboe. It took me a while. I always thought Isaac Dogboe would have trouble with jabs. I said it. People in the comments left and said, "Hey, he's the truth. He's the truth." We saw Isaac Dogboe. We knew he was the truth. But how can you not expect a jab and a taller man to give him trouble? That you can't do so much about the flaw. You're short. But the aggressiveness of Navarrete with that jab, I don't think no one quite saw that coming. I didn't think he's going to be so aggressive with it. And Dogboe, like I said, you could go back and watch the RRT Boxing Show, the post-fight recap of that fight. I have my own speculations of that fight. It's nothing too serious. Basically, Dogboe, I think, got a little caught up in the ESPN stream, the hype. He was doing that whole not Naho. It's cool to do that, but I think he was overselling it, like saying it. Like during the fight, ESPN be having cameras showing different angles of the arena, the referee, the opponent. ESPN just switching up the camera work, but you can hear the other camera you can see in the background, you can hear it fucking the camera just in his face, just like right in his fucking face. Naho. Like, dude, like just calm the fuck down on the Naho. We get it. Whoop some ass. And he got caught up in selling it. Hopefully he learned from that, because Navarrete came out and jabbed the shit out of him, whooped his ass without knocking him out, but it was upset. Now, the reason why it's number 2 comes in number 2, folks. That was a champion taking on, I believe, number 1. So he wasn't no, oh, this guy can't fight. Dogboe was going in there fighting top 2 opponents every time. He was putting it down as a interim and as a champion and a challenger. He was fighting top notch for that little like 3-fight run he had. He was putting it down. 3-4 fight run he had. But Navarrete, champion, lost to number 1, but it just wasn't expected the way he lost. So it comes in number 2, upset of the year. Honorable mention, Ryan Burnett going down to Nonita Donaire in the WBSS tournament, the super bantamweights, losing the WBA and the gaining the WBC vacant silver or diamond, I believe it was diamond. So that was the honorable mention. Number 3, Jamel Charlo losing against Tony Harrison, getting outboxed with the jab. Number 2, WBO super bantamweight champion Isaac Dalbe goes down to Navarrete. Forgot his first name, so it's Navarrete. That was a shockingly beat down. That was like he got him good. Now coming in number 1 upset of the year, if it's not Jamel Charlo versus Harrison, I have the WBC flyweight champion Christopher Rosales losing to Charlie Edwards. Yes, that fight. Charlie Edwards was ranked number 13. Christopher Rosales was a pretty damn good fighter. You know, I just didn't think this fight was gonna lose. It's Charlie Edwards put on a boxing clinic on Rosales, avoided the jab, avoided the power hits. He kept Rosales off balance. No, I don't think anyone expected the WBC champ to get. It was like it wasn't like, oh, okay, Charlie Edwards is having some few good rounds against the champ. No, it's Charlie Edwards is taking the fight to the champ, but not aggressively, just moving, hitting him, pickpocketing him. It was, and Rosales was just throwing with the wind, couldn't land anything, couldn't land his famous aggressive hard shots. That was the champion losing his belt to number 13. That's right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Mr. A's number 1 upset of the year, WBC flyweight champion, Christopher Rosales, losing against Charlie Edwards. Moving on, folks. If you have not hit the thumbs up or subscribed during this replay, kindly do so right now. Going into the knockout. The knockout. What should we say, folks? This was a good one. This was a good one. Now, around I've been hearing that the knockout of the year is going to Dillian Whyte and Chisora. Dillian Whyte and Chisora. It was a good one. It was a good knockout. It was a good knockout. But right here on the RRT Boxing Show, I'm your host, Mr.A. It wasn't good enough for the Ready Talk Boxing Show and its audience. The number 1 we will get to, but the honorable mention is Dillian Whyte and Chisora. Yes, folks, that is the honorable mention right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Dillian Whyte and Chisora. Was it anything that we did not expect? Did it shock us? It was like, wow, it came out of nowhere. It happened to Chisora because he was winning the fight. But did a knockout surprise us that it happened out of these two guys slugging? And it was, as for knockout, just for me on this list, it's honorable mention. Moving on to number 3, knockout of the year. Like I said, these categories, I could be stuck in the later half of the year. Can't remember back. There's a lot of shit going on. Say what you want. Just say you subscribe to the show. That's what you can say. Number 3, knockout of the year 2018. Award goes to Jeff Horn, knocking out Anthony Mundine. Yes, I believe that was for the 160 Oceanic middleweight, like the WBA Oceanic middleweight title. You know, cash that in, drop down the weight and fight Jared Hurd. That's what he can do. That's what he can do. Get a nice little money fight, Jared Hurd. You know, now him knocking out Anthony Modine, that was a nice big money fight, a big money draw down in Australia. Big name, Anthony Modine. You know, you can say whatever you want to say about him over worldwide in the States of America boxing, but down in Australia, him and Jeff Horn put on a nice attraction. It drew some attention. You know, a lot of people thought the young man was going to pull through. Some people thought, hey, maybe Anthony Modine might be able to do something to the young man. But I don't think many people expected that first round shit. You know, maybe some rough, rugged attempts by Jeff Horn, but with that hand connected and you saw the body go limp of Modine as he fall, and then the head just bounce off the defense. Those are dangerous moments, but you just got taken in boxing as a whole. That's number 3 on the RRT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Number 2, knockout of the year. We are talking the World Boxing Super Series. Yes, folks, are you starting to know what it is? Are you starting to know what knockout number 2 is? Yes, the Super Bantamweight WBA regular champion Inoue taking on Payano. The one-hitter quitter out of nowhere. This was supposed to be Inoue's big test. It was his probably biggest world coverage. He's been doing all his big fights in Japan. He had some fights over in the States, but it wasn't big. He didn't make the splash they were hoping he would make, considering at that time HBO was covering, some smaller of the weight class. I just don't think they just took his name like, hey, we know who we are, and just threw his ass out there. It didn't quite go on. He boxed well, but this was like his best stage to shine on, worldwide stage. Carlos Payano, a former champion, a gamer, more than a gamer. I don't think you could quite categorize him as a gatekeeper quite yet. Still a serious contender, I would say, at least another 2 years from what I see. He's rough rugged, but a one-hitter quitter came and just stopped him. Just stopped him. Just hit him, falling down timber face first. Pause. He was falling on pause mode. It was incredible. Totally unexpected. This just is a boxing beautiful moment. Like, goddamn. So before we get to number 1, knockout of the year, right here on the RRT Boxing Show with your host. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. I am your host. Thank you, folks, for watching it on the replay. Going back, hit that thumbs up live, hit it thumbs up on the replay, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Support your show. I'm just a host. Going back on 2018 awards, knockout of the year. Honorable mention, White versus Shishora. Number 3, Horn versus Modine. Number 2, Inoue versus Payano. And coming in at number 1, folks, this is strictly just on a boxing basis. The end of a 5-year reign. The WBC middleweight champion goes down to a knockout, a comeback to a series of punches, and then just gets collapsed in the corner. Alexander Vazdik defeats the 5-year reign of the WBC's champion, Adonis Stevenson. Going into that fight, it was questionable. Adonis looked gassed out against Jack, came back with the body shot. You know, Vosdick had questions about his chin. Could he survive a tough shot? You know, so going into the fight, it was about what everyone was talking about the first couple rounds. But I believe going right at the second or the third round is when Vosdick just happened to catch. Well, it's not happened when you throw the punch, but it's like I think he got a better reaction from the punch than he expected. It's when the count, the knockdown didn't count, but he rocked Adonis, and I don't think Adonis ever recovered from that fight, that knockdown, and it tide changed, and it led to what we saw, a comeback from Vosdick. You know, he had Stevenson backing up, threw some punches, and Boone he collapsed him in the corner. Because Stevenson got up, we thought he was okay right there. So that on boxing terms, in like I said, to me, when I'm giving out the awards, it's I'm taking an account of what you done during that moment. Who'd you do it to? You know, like for instance, I know we could do a junior. We could do a junior honorable mention award since we're going to use it as an example. We could talk about fuck it. We'll really talk about him. I know he's ranked on some division. What division is he? We'll find out right here. Hold on, folks. Who is the mystery fighter we're talking about? Give me a second. He's ranked. He is a lightweight. Yes, a lightweight. Up and coming lightweight. Are you starting to figure it out who he is? And we are using him as an example for a knockout. Yes, folks. If you did guess, you know, you're talking about number 11 WBO rank Teofimo Lopez. We're using him as an example. Number 15 by the WBC. Number 9 by the WBA. So he is definitely on the rise. Teofimo Lopez. We know who he is. He's trying to sell himself well. He's trying to show it in the ring. Like I said, he got a junior honorable mention, an example talked about for him. His knockout against Mason Maynard. Devastating, almost like the knockout, if not the exact of Inoue versus Payano. But the importance of those characters, the stages, you know, Lopez did at the Mason. Great knockout, but to Mason on a regular fight, Inoue did this to Payano, a former champion, a big stage, the World Boxing Super Series. First round. No one's ever beat Payano like that. No one's ever beat Mason like that, but he just lost to Devin Haney. What I mean? It's you guys, boxing head, boxing junkie, you get the difference. And that's how Payano getting knocked out by Inoue is in the list over Lopez versus Maynard. I think that's an explanation of how all awards are given out right here on the RRT Boxing Show. And that is how Vosdick gets number 1 knockout of the year. Number 1 knockout of 2018. Vosdick ending the 5-year reign of Superman with a kryptonite punch, collapsing Adonis Stevenson. Now, that being said, we are going into the rough, ripid tides here. We are talking some serious boxing. We're talking about fighter of the year. Oh, we're gonna rustle some feathers, perhaps. You know, and I got a small audience. Ain't no feathers getting rustled, but maybe on the replay, maybe someone might unsubscribe. Hope not. We're all a happy bunch here, but hey, if you do, see you on the next one. Hope you come back. Now, we're going to go top 5 fighters of the year because it's, I don't know what the normal count, but we do know the worldwide unanimous pick has been Alexander Usyk for becoming undisputed champion, defeating Breedis to get the WBC, defeating Gassif to get the WBA and IBF cruiserweight champions, all in the WBSS tournament. So he became undisputed and the first Muhammad Ali winner in the 2018 calendar year, and capping all that off already by defeating the Emeritus champion. Apologies for destroying that word, but like he defeated Tony Bellew, who was the champion before Breedis. He just gave it up to go get money fights against David Haye. So he beat the champion. He beat like a Tyson Fury, a champion who was a champion but gave his belts up. So that is the year of the universal #1 fighter of the year. Find out. Keep listening. Enjoy. Let the boxing just melt the earwax in your ears. Right here on the RRT Boxing Show. We're going to talk that hot shit, that dragon on the net shit. Now we're going to talk about the fighters who definitely are not the fighter of the year. We talked the big names, big name, Saul Alvarez. Good fight, good fight, Triple G. And he capped the year off with Rocky Fielding, but that is not fighter of the year material. So, like I said, we know this is all Usyk #1, folks. Usyk is #1. Saul Alvarez, GGG, and Rocky Fielding. No. Like we said, we're talking standards. Obviously, because Usyk, what he did, he became undisputed. That right there is letting you know the belts do mean something to certain people. You could shit that there's too many people don't like it that many belts there is, but the belts, he got the major ones. Now, is it just because he got the belts? That's really because are we going to account for who he beat for them? Gassif, I thought was going to beat him with the pressure. But technically, overall, Gassif ain't too special. I got that one wrong, but boxing-wise, a lot of people are saying like, nah, Mr.A, Gassif ain't shit. Usyk's going to outbox him all day. You were right. So is it just the belt he got that's getting him and the belt over Breedis? Because, however, I do believe Gassif is better than Breedis. Breedis hasn't been looking the same since that loss, even though we haven't been seeing Gassif. But I never thought high of Breedis going into that one. So I'm one of those weird ones. I could debate Alexander Usyk, but I completely understand on credentials what he did. He beats these champions. These champions were pretty high shit. Undefeated champions, one-loss champions. I'm not too sure. I forgot. Pretty sure Gassif was undefeated. I'm not too sure about Breedis. He might have had one loss. I'm not too sure, but that could have been 2 undefeated champions, capping it off with Bellew. Or Bellew. So that's the universal. That's what they got to beat there. But like I said, are we talking strictly what they done? Belts? Let's see. Now, who was it not? Let's go another big names. We're going names, folks. We are going names. Talking about the Monster. What did the Monster do? WBA regular champion with that KO #2 of the year. He didn't do nothing. Just won the WBA regular champion against Jamie McDonnell. Knocked out Payano, but nothing special. Nah. Dimitri Bivol. We throw out some like young names. Get some like 2019. Keep an eye out for people out there. What did Dimitri Bivol do? He Now, if you want to do like a junior honorable mention, you listen to a nice. We're gonna do that right here. You know, we'll do a B tier. We're doing a live switch up in the show. You know, the dispute, the cards got all mixed up. We're gonna create the show live. A top a top B tier fighters of the year. You can go. We're only going to go like three. Only go three or two even. Who it's not though. We can say who it's not. It is not Inui. It is not Anthony Joshua. Even though he did unify with Parker and he beat Povetkin. Now, one, I didn't consider Povetkin no challenge at all. I know he might be ranked higher in the ranks. I get that. I give him that. He Joshua beat a number two and he unified. That is good. That is caliber shit. Like I said, how do you judge fighter of the year? Just if you want to throw in everything, that's Anthony Joshua did some good shit. He unified a undefeated fighter. He beat Joseph Parker, and he beat a high-ranked Alex Povetkin. So that you know, and you can argue that Parker and Povetkin are better than Breedis and Gassiv. You can argue that, folks. And I think Breedis and Parker are the same category. That's a hell of a fight. Take away weight classes. Breedis, Meredith Breedis versus Joseph Parker. That is a hell of a fight matchup. You know, like I said, you put him in the weight machine, and we get a fight. I don't know who the fuck's gonna win that fight. And then you got Povetkin and Gassiv. You can almost do the same shit with that, But I go with Povetkin on that. So you can make the example. AJ did some good shit, but I just don't hold Parker and Povetkin high. High enough for the other fighters ahead of him. But he gets a nice number two fighter of the year. Fighter of the year. Now, honorable mention. Now that is junior tier fighter of the year. Number two, Anthony Joshua. Now, we said the honorable mention. Oh, I'm sorry. The honorable mention, junior tier fighter of the year. Dimitri Bivol, the WBA lightweight champion. Light heavyweight, 175. He had a nice, solid year. I think it went under the radar. I don't think many people gave him credit, or just who's he fighting? Who's he fighting? Well, he beat Solomon Barrera, Isaac Chilemba, and John Pascal. Names, those are good. Styles, those are good. Pascal, you can debate on the John Pascal. You can debate that one. But overall, those are three solid names. That is definitely a nice honorable mention for a junior tier fighter of the year. That is junior tier. That's right, folks. Junior tier. Dimitri Bivol couldn't make the big boy. Again, number two fighter of the year. This is just Mr. A's. Mr. A's. Like I said, you can definitely argue like a master flute player, an MFer, with me on this one. So if you want to argue like an MFer, a master flute player, because I got AJ Number 2, and I get his credentials were good. I got number 1, junior tier, fighter of the year, right here on RRT Boxing Show. Mr. A. I can tell you it's not Elder Alvarez. It is not Elder Alvarez. He fought one time in 2018, but it was a lovely time. Do you remember what it was? 3 times flatlining. Well, I won't say flatlining. 3 times doing this thing to Kovalev. If you're watching this on the replay and you remember what he did to Kovalev and you're like, wow, those were some hits, then he stopped him. That was like a whoa. That's his one fight. That's his one fight. That was a damn good year. For a while you can't say that was fight of the year. Maybe if Kovalev was maybe not as questioned, but that was a good fight. One fight 1 year. That's a good year for Elder Alvarez. But it's not fight of the year in the junior tier on the RRT Boxing Show with your host, Mr. A. Who is it? Who is number 1? Is it Crawford? Is it Spence? It is neither, folks. It is neither Terrence Crawford nor Errol Spence. They are not fighter of the year in the junior tier. You wonder why? We're going to talk about why. What did Crawford do? He won the belt off the WBO champion Jeff Horn, and then he defended it against David Benavidez Jr. Nothing. Did he, like I said, how, if you want to hold people just on, like I said, I get it on right here on the RRT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show, your boxing show, folks. I'm just the host. If you supply the love, I will appreciate it. On the replay, hit the thumbs up. I don't know how many replay views this is going to get, but for every view you got, a thumbs up, unless you're one of those people who could watch like 7 minutes at a time. I get it. But if you're watching this and you have not hit that thumbs up, appreciate your time and effort. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Now, Crawford did what we all expected. Horn and Benavidez. That's it. Do you just rank on what they did? Like I said, credentials, belt winning, and he beat a number 9. Yes, in the WBO, he was number 9. So he beat a top 10 fighter, beat a Jeff Horn, the champ. Pretty solid, but not fighter of the year. Not even in junior tier B. Errol Spence. And the reason why he's ahead of Terrence Crawford, he was already champion. He made a defense. Against Lamont Peterson, a game name. He won like many people expected Errol Spence to win. He was a little brutal. He was a little aggressive. I think not quite as I don't think we quite expected him to be aggressive as that. But if you've been following the show, you remember Mr. A's breakdown of the Errol Spence and Lamont Peterson. What do we talk about, folks? Yes, we predicted that was going to be a corner stoppage. We predicted the trainer would pull the plug on that one. That one was one of our highlights of the year, folks. So we could talk about that once again. Hit the thumbs up for calling that one. We called a corner stoppage by Barry Hunter. We called that right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Hit the thumbs up for being one of our highlight moments. None of those guys are the fighter of the year in junior tier Class B. Again, honorable mention, Dimitri Bivol. Number 2, Anthony Joshua. Defeating Joseph Parker, unifying with Joseph Parker. Defeating Alexander Povetkin, ranked number 1. I get it. That is high stuff. Who could beat that? Mr. A, What fucking moon rocks are you munching on? Who do you got number one as fighter of the year in the junior tier? Tier B? That award goes to, yes, folks, out of nowhere, Josh Taylor gets 2018 Fighter of the Year, Tier B, against Postal, high class opponent, and then not just stopping Martin in the WBSS, making it as a name. I thought that was a nice showcasing for him. That was a big year. That was a breakout year. AJ did what he was supposed to do. Taylor had questions marks on him and the spotlight for the first time on him, and he shined. So therefore, Josh Taylor, 2018, Tier B, Fighter of the Year, right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Now, folks, we are getting into the top five of the big boy shit. Tier A. Tier A, folks. Number five. Number five. Fighter of the Year. And the new. Actually, no, he wasn't the new. He was a defendant. Sorry, fucked up. My bad. It's a live show. Hey, take a shot if I fucked up, in the future. If you're watching this and you're a drinker, I don't drink no more. But hey, if you're a drinker while you're watching this, every time I fuck up, take a shot. The defendant for his first time, Josh Warrington. Actually, yeah, he did become the new. He did become the new. He beat Lee Shelby to become the new IBF champion. We did predict that on the RRT Boxing Show. That's another one. We got that one pretty on point too. But I don't know why a lot of people were kind of shocked to do that. He won that fight pretty convincingly. Now, his first defense against Carl Frampton, not only did we get that one wrong, that was a very entertaining still in the moment. He took. I thought he was going to knock Carl Frampton out. The way he was hitting with Carl Frampton got stuck in trying to defend himself, trying to throw punches back. Warrington came with a nice year out of nowhere. He dominated Lee Shelby and pretty much dominated Carl Frampton. Got himself a belt, made himself a hell of a fight first defense. That's a nice. Like I said, this is tough shit because can you not argue? Well, it's an extra belt, so never mind. Like I said, you can argue Shelby and Frampton are better than Breedis and Gassif. Just, it's the belts. It's the belts. Number four. Number four, folks. Fighter of the Year goes to WBO Super Welterweight Champion, Jaime Munguia. This fighter, I should say, this boxer, he fought 5 times. Now you're going to say, Mr.A, who did he really fight? I get it. But he built himself up. It was the peak of his build-up. And he took that build-up and turned it into the real damn thing all in 1 year. He fought for the WBC Latino Championship at the beginning of the year. By the midpoint of the year, he fought Saddam Ali for the WBO belt, knocked his ass around the ring, made his defense against number 1 Liam Smith. Number 1, say what you want to say. Remember, up until there's a size difference, you could say, he was hanging with Canelo. Liam Smith is a gamer. He ain't no quitter. He's going to come in and fight. He tried to fight fucking Jaime Munguia. He was doing his thing, holding his own. Munguia broke that motherfucker down, man. Hit him. He was hitting with some shit. And then he fought fucking Cook. Cook was another ranked fighter. So he fought two top, I believe, top 7 fighters. Won 2 belts. He won the, like I said, he won the WBC Latino, won the WBO Super Welterweight. So you say what you want to say about those belts. He won 2 belts in 5 fights, and in 5 fights he fought a champion, obviously, and then 2 top 7 opponents. That's a hell of a fight year for Jaime Munguia. Hell of a fight year. 5 fights. 4 fights are 2 championship belts and 3 top 7 opponents, with one being a champion. Fucking unbelievable. Number three. Number 3 fighter of the year. He set himself up nice for 2019. That is for sure. Who are we talking about? We talking about Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, yes, sir. He comes in at number 3 fighter of the year. Now, this you can say. Again, you always talking about who they did it against. How do you hold them? How do you rank them? You gotta. It's how you judge the stuff. Like I said, you do that. You do that with the trinkets. Like I said, This is all based off Usyk. I don't hold the people he defeated too high, but universally they're graded a certain way. So we're kind of doing that. But that's why we're saying, did we do the same thing? Now, this is my biggest question mark right here, folks. This is the biggest question mark on. This is where I have a loophole. Universal, if we're going by trinkets and what happens, Usyk probably gets number 1 for undisputed. But undisputed aside, if to me, if there's anything to challenge, that's a very hard thing to challenge. But if you want to debate what's gonna knock him off, I like my number 3 and number 2. But these are the orders I put them in. Number 3. Like I said, this could easily be a number 1 if you're talking about what the hell they did in the year 2018. Mikey Garcia moved up to 140. He beat Sergey Lipinets. Now, is Sergey Lipinets a better fighter than Briedis and Gassiev? Are they looked as how are they looked as? Are they looked as different tiers? Are they B tier fighters in their divisions? Sergey Lipinets, he goes up to 140 and becomes a 4-time champion. Usyk became undisputed in his division at a quick rate. Tough shit. But a 4-time champion, that's doing your damn thing. That is good shit. And like I said, how do you rate Lipinets? Is he a tier below Briedis? Is he a tier below Gassiev? Is he the same type of tier of a fighter in their division? So Mikey Garcia goes up, becomes a 4-division champion, then goes back down, and then becomes a unified champion himself. And how high do you hold Robert Easter as the IBF champion? Remember, he was getting a lot of internet buzz. He was like the next best thing. He was ducking. Mikey Garcia was ducking Robert Easter for a while. Remember, that was even the talk. People were starting to talk that. That was horse manure. Mikey Garcia ducking Robert Easter Jr. He was trying to make money. This is the only fighter I support for fighting whoever the fuck you. If Mikey Garcia wanted to fight fucking Luis Collazo, I would support that fight because Mikey Garcia came back and said, I want nothing but big fights that gives me legacy and money. That's all I'm going for. He made it purposely known. He didn't sign no free agent. I mean, he let it be known he's staying a free agent so he can make the big fights when he wants to. He got stuck with Robert Easter because Lomachenko's and Linares, they weren't ready. I think he's down to fight anybody. Make the right money for him, he's going to fight you. That's why he's a free agent. So he got stuck. He was not ducking no Easter. So again, he beats Lipinets at 140, four-time champion. Unifies against Robert Easter. Again, are we just talking getting a belt? He unified like Usyk. You know, he now given it, yes, it was undisputed, but it was a unified. It was a unified. It's more belts. Then we're just talking trinkets. Are we talking opponents? How high is Robert Easter tier? Is he a better champion than Gassip? Is he a better champion? See what I mean? This is, you can argue. Like I said, I have. But like I said, you can always throw in that Usyk has Bellew as a cherry on top. He finished the year off with he somehow snuck in that third fucking fight with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, you slick fucking dog. Oh, he squeezed one in. So that's number 3. So again, we have 3 out the way, folks. We have coming in at number 5, Josh Warrington becoming the IBF champion, defeating Lee Shelby in a very dominant fashion, I found. Then making his first defense and almost knocking Carl Frampton block off, I thought. Not block off, but he had him on Dum Dum Street. Number 4, Jaime Munguia coming in with 5 fights, winning a WBC Latino champion, taking it all the way, coming up the WBO welterweight champion. 5 fights, 2 championship belts, top 3 and 7 opponents. Good shit. Yes. Yes, out of the number 7 spot, he fought 3 top number 7 spots. Good shit in 1 year, Jaime Munguia. Number 3, Mikey Garcia, moving up, becoming a 4-time division champion, defeating Sergey Lipinets, defeating Robert Easter, unification. Who else can it be? We know number 1 is Usyk. So who who do you think could be number 1? You know, if it's not Usyk, who do you have as your number 1 fighter? Who? I can tell you who it's not. These guys weren't even on any tiers. Maybe one of them should have been an honorable mention. I kind of just totally forgot him. You know, because it was a live show and I missed him. But Wilder, he had himself a good year. He had himself a really good year. But I've I thought Luis Ortiz was going to give him a good outing, but I didn't really fear a loss in that fight. Fury, on the other hand, I knew he could outbox the shit out of Wilder, but I thought Wilder was going to catch him. I thought he was going to work the body a little bit more to catch him. He caught him, got a draw. It's not fight of the year, you know. It's not fight of the year. Now this guy, he's should definitely be. He's like an MVP award, you know, like he wins now, right now. If boxing has the NBA has the 6th man of the year, baseball, I don't know what baseball, but they have like the DH, you know, the DH of the year. I'm hoping, you know, but they have the DH. Boxing, the if they had like a utility type award, like the guy who he's not a prospect, but he sure in the hell had a breakout year. The breakout star. There you go. The breakout star of 2018 goes out to Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer, man, he became the IBF champion. Beat Billy Dib down in Australia. Made a nice, fashionable knockout against Tennyson. Did a nice showcasing fight against Fonseca. Like I said, he didn't beat top-notch shit, but he got himself out there nice. You recognize his skills. He's talking the talk. He's talking with Tank. Like, hey, now he got people saying, like, hey, dog, you got this Tank, fight this guy. And now, like, he talks so much shit. He's like, you know what? I'll fight on my terms now. Hold on. Take a nice break here while I get some nice liquids. Oh, yes. Yes. Some nice chilled water. So that is your breakout star of 2018. Again, if Usyk is number one, who is number two fighter of the year? Mikey Garcia is number three. Again, I feel you can argue number one to number three on my list, considering what they've done. Again, who they fight is how you compare. It's boxing debate. It's ready talk boxing. It's what we do right here on your show. That's what I do. We talk that boxing. But I hope we ain't got to talk about why the thumbs ain't hit on this replay. I hope when I look back, I see some thumbs up. You know, I hope I see some people watching this. You know, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But we'll soon see. Number two fighter of the year. Who is it? It goes to Clarissa Shields, folks. Clarissa Shields. That is right, folks. The shit she did in the year 2018 is some hot shit. I think people obviously they're like, who the hell she fight? The people she fought is some people. How do you rank them? That's the debate, right? In 2018, she started off by defeating the legend, you know, the big girl, Tori Nelson, the big name. She beat Tori Nelson. Her next fight, she gets the IBF and the WBA middleweight champion. You know, she defeats Hannah Gabriels. Now remember, Hannah Gabriels was the super welterweight champion. So she beat, technically in that fight, she got 3 belts in that fight. She beat a super welterweight champion, and she got the vacant WBA and IBF champions. You know, she was a super middleweight champion at 168. She dropped down to 160, so she became a 2-weight division champion, a unified champion. She beat another weight division champion, and then she fights Rankin and becomes the WBC. So she gets 3 belts. Rankin was the WBC silver, so she beat a rank title, and she was a titleist. How you want to hold the silver championship? So in 3 fights, she gets 3 championship belts, becomes a 2 division champion, defeats another division champion in a short record. So in 2018, that is some shit. Like I said, that is why she's ahead of Mikey. More belts. You know, Mikey was a 4-division champion. She's a 2-division champion, but she got 3 belts. Mikey got 2 belts. Usyk picked up 4 belts, you know, in 1 division. Clarissa Shields became a 2. Like I said, it's, to me, you can argue these people can challenge Usyk, but you can always say Usyk opponents are better. I guess that's how he wins this. Is you hold Undisputed really high, and you give his opponents the edge in tier levels. Now that is the 2018 awards, folks. Again, we are going with 2018 upset of the year. WBC flyweight champion Christopher Rosales going down to Charlie Edwards. Knockout of the year, Oleksandr Vazdik becoming the WBC light heavyweight champion of the year by knocking out Adonis Stevenson. And Tier B fighter of the year, Josh Taylor. Taking the big stage and owning it, answering a lot of questions, defeating Postyle and Ryan Martin in the WBSS. And fighter of the year goes to Oleksandr Usyk. But I feel real questionable with that one. But I hold undisputed pretty high. I hold getting the belts. But like I said, Mikey Garcia and Clarissa Shields, to me, are some very, very hard debates. Good old boxing banter. That's that ready talk boxing shit. Mikey Garcia and Clarissa Shields. Like I said, I got Clarissa Shields number 2 fight of the year. The shit that girl did and accomplished this year is a hell of a fight year. 2-time division champion, 3 out of the 4 belts. Good stuff. She beat 2 titleists. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Now, that being said, 2018 is done and we're moving into 2019. If you're a new viewer and you still haven't subscribed, well, this is the time. It is 2019. This is the first episode of season 3 of the RRT Boxing Show. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and what do we have to look forward to in the first month? Now I made a few little fight predictions already. Hopefully I got a few more videos to pump out, get them out there, get some little segments out there for that entertainment, for some more viewers and some more thumbs up. Starting off the year, January 10th, we have Devin Haney taking on Ndwandini. He's the WBF lightweight champion. Now, this really ain't gonna do much for Devin Haney. It's gonna keep him active, get him some eyeballs on him. He's the WBC and IBF ranked number 10, so this might move him up a spot. Who knows? You gotta remember, this either Devin Haney's gonna have to step up and do something quick, or there's gonna be everything's measured like an Anthony Yarde type shit now. Devin Haney's gonna quickly turn into an Anthony Yarde. Like, who are you fighting, bro? Now, again, this is tough on Devin Haney's part because he's his own promoter. He's doing this self-business shit. So his cards he's putting on, he's paying for them. It's going to be tough. He's going to have to team up, I think, to get a big fight. He can't put all the promotion on for his big fight career, but he's starting the year off on the 10th. I'm interested in watching that fight. That's on Showtime by Haney Promotions. January 12th, you got Fabian Maidana. Not quite sure who he's fighting, but the fact that, like I said, RRT Boxing Show, we talk rankings, we talk fighters, talk the belts. Fabian dropped down to 140, but he's the number 10 by the BC and number 9 by the BA. So we'll keep an eye out on him. We'll try and track him down and see what happens with him. That's the 12th. And then probably you can argue, well, besides the pay-per-view of Broner and Pacquiao on the 19th, this is probably the fight of the month, at least in the eyes of Mr.A. January 13th, the IBF super middleweight champion, Jose Utakatsi, makes his first defense against Caleb Plant. Yes, this is Jose's first defense. Yeah, that last fight I don't believe was a defense of this belt, and this is by TGB Promotions. This fight should be very. I got, I got. I think a lot of people got their own entertaining perspective of this fight, what they think is going to go down. A lot of people I'm hearing saying Ukats. Everyone tries to say his name and they be saying it fucked up. So we're gonna say Jose. We're gonna say fuck it. We're not gonna try and front. It's Jose Uzkatsky. Uzkatsky. We'll say it like that. Jose Uzkatsky. Uzkatsky. Right here at RRT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Uzkatsky. Caleb Plant. I got Caleb Plant resetting his feet. I got Caleb Plant resetting Jose's feet and doing it. That's the 13th, folks. Like I said, there is a breakdown prediction if you want to hear more in detail of what I think of that fight, but we're going with Caleb Plant. On the 18th, you got right there on I guess the zone's first this Matchroom USA first appearance on the zone of the year, January 18th. You got Demetrius Andrade taking on Akrabov. You know, a lot of people, you guys know him, or fuck it, a lot of people know him as Wolverine. I don't know how big my audience is, you know, but I got 604 subscribers. Hopefully, the replay of this will get one more or two more. I don't know how many new viewers catch this if they're not catching it live, but for those who are watching this on the replay, hopefully you do hit the thumbs up. And if you somehow watch this on the replay for the first time, become a new subscriber, hit that thumbs up. 18th, like I said, you got Demetrius Andrade taking on Akrabov. That's for the WBO middleweight champion. Again, we are talking January, what it has to offer. So far, we got Devin Haney, the 10th, Fabian Maidana. First week and a half is so. But like I said, the 13th, Uzkatsky and Plant. That's going to be a nice little talk about. And then the 18th, you got Dimitri and Kakarov. They could really own boxing for a little bit. You know, until like I think February is February Spence, Mikey? I'll tell you what, something's in February, but I'm forgetting. But you got Broner and Pacquiao, but Plant and Uzkatsky and Demetrius, they could really start their year off really good. But on the undercard of that Demetrius, you got Amanda Serrano going for another belt, another division. Like I said, if you want to just go by what's being done, like I said, this is another one. We talk about it, we rank it on the year awards. How is she not a fighter of the year? She's got so many. She became like a 6th division female champion. You know, how she's not even talked about any of that shit because she's winning all these vacant belts. She's making no defense. She's belt hopping. And again, she's fighting another vacant belt against Volkenberger. I don't know. I guess they're trying to set up a Katie Taylor fight, which is weird because Amanda Serrano's fighting like right now, like at 118, 115. She's fighting light. For her to fight Katie Taylor, she's going to put on 20 pounds, but they're going to sell that shit. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Also, on the 18th, this is by Top Rank. So far we got Haney Promotions, TGB, Matchroom, and now Top Rank peeks their face out. And they're coming on also on the 18th. A nice, interesting fight right here, folks. We covered this fight, the breakdown prediction. Like I said, we did 2 of them this year so far. We did Plant and this one, Jennings versus Oscar Rivas. Jennings got a lot of momentum going for himself, and it's all on the line for him. So he's ranked number 2 by the WBA. So him giving Oscar Rivas all his limelight opportunity, a nice little fight, a nice heavyweight B tier fight. It's very good stuff. And that's for the IBF International and the WBO NABO. That's what Jennings is carrying around. So he's giving up. Like I said, he's high on the B tier shit. So that's a good B tier heavyweight fight scrap. That's the 18th, and then on the 19th, we're gonna make a nice little debut, hopefully between Shingo Waki, the number 4 WBA Super Bantamweight champion. So he's over there doing something in Japan. He's like I said, the RRT Boxing Show. We cover the rankings. We cover these people. Japanese Super Bantamweight champion Shingo Waka. Maybe you guys know him. Like I said, I'm just a fan. I learn with you. So you guys will let me know if Shingo Waka, if I'm even pronouncing that right. Is it? I know in Japan they go first. So is it Waki Shingo? But he's number 4 by the WBA, so he's going to make his debut on the 19th for the WRT Boxing Show. Also on the 19th, we got the big fight of itself. Like I said, this could easily be the fight of the month. We got Pacquiao Broner. That's a whole hour talk right there alone. But on the undercard, you got an interesting fight, a very interesting fight. You got Marcus Brown returning and fighting Bottle Jack. Now, if there's ever a time to catch a nice, this can be talked about as a gimme fight, a softball. Marcus Brown been going through a lot of shit. He's been out of the ring for a while. He's fighting Bottle Jack. It's gonna be a little rusty, a little slow. But Bottle Jack's been out the ring, and I'm saying, like I said, both been out the ring. But I said if Brown at one point was somewhat warm, if not hot, he was somewhat active, somewhat fighting. He's been in some trouble out of the ring, and now just coming back against Bottle Jack. Interesting. That's an interesting card, the 19th, Pacquiao and Broner. And that's by TGB Promotions again. That's 2 times for them. You got Mayweather Promotions poking out right there. You got About Billions poking out. You got Manny Pacquiao Promotion. Everyone's on that card. Everyone's digging in for the gold. The gold. Everyone's digging in the gold. Man, the gold pot, man. Some good ass chips. If you want to categorize them as chips, I like those roasted tomato basil Triscuits. Those motherfuckers are bomb. You put some fucking some goat cheese on there, whatever flavor goat cheese you want. Put that on a roasted tomato basil Triscuit. God damn. Good shit. Good shit. All right. Now back to boxing. Now the month kind of probably going to die out after the 19th for most boxing. Excuse me, for most boxing outlets. Not us, folks. Not your show. Not the RRT Boxing Show. The number 26 is actually a very interesting fight, folks. Very interesting. Now, making his Bella debut is Emmanuel Tago, the Game Boy. He's number 12 by the IBF. He's going for the IBF International Lightweight Championship. Not quite know who he's fighting, but if he's getting he like I said, he just signed to DeBella Promote Entertainment. He's getting, like I said, you got to get those belts, man. You get those belts, you get your shot. And DeBella knows this. He knows how to work this system. He knows how to let the system work for him, I should say. And getting Tago that belt, that international lightweight, let his ass fight all the way from America to Canada to Mexico. Let him get all that shit. Let him fight all that fucking South America. Let him fight all those people. So he's going to have him busy with the international belt. So that's interesting to see if he gets that on the 26th. Then you got Feigenbutz, the number 3 by the IBF, taking on somebody. Now, the reason why this fight is interesting, Feigenbutz was already a little weird. He was trying to get his name out. Now, this fight, Feigenbutz, he was ordered to fight Shifat. He was ordered to fight Shifat for a WBO eliminator. The winner of that fight was supposed to fight the winner of Roberto Ramirez and Jesse Hart. Feigenbutz heard that shit and he said, so I guess he just figured he was going to beat Shifat and he was going to fight the winner. He said, I ain't having that shit. So he completely avoided that eliminator. He got dropped out of the WBO rankings. He became the number 3 IBF super middleweight. Now, the reason why this is interesting, folks, and I said, we're going to follow this fight because the number 3 IBF super middleweight is Vincent Feigenbutz. And what happened earlier in the month on the 13th? The IBF super middleweight champion, Jose Ukatsky, is taking on number 2, Caleb Plant. So number 3, Feigenbutz, he might just have something to do somewhere down May or August against one of those guys. So we'll keep an eye out on that fight. That is the 26th, Vincent Feigenbutz. You got Thurman Lopez, Josecito Lopez, the return of Keith Thurman. That's a nice little card. You got Adam Nowalki taking on Gerald Washington. That I want to see Thurman. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I think Nowalki is probably gonna steal the show. And then you got Golden Boy, the regular WBA champion, Rojas taking on Cantu, the WBA featherweight champion. And you got Munguia making his. Munguia likes to fight. We talked about it. We talked about how much Munguia likes to fight. So that's the first month of the year. He's already having one fight. He's taking on number 3 WBO and Nui too. So I know he doesn't joke around, dude. Munguia fights top rank opponents. So that is what January has to offer us. We went over the 2018 A Year Awards. Thank you for tuning in. For those who did tune in for a little bit live, thank you. And again, on the replay, I hope this gets watched a good amount of times. At least let's go for a hot number. Let's go for like 25. We don't get, it's probably going to end up at like 9, I'm hoping. And that's saying a lot. This thing's probably going to get watched about 5 views. And I don't know if that's going to be the same person clicking it, finishing it. But we're aiming for 25. That'd be nice if you guys share this about. Hit the thumbs up. Let's see where we're at. The RRT Boxing Show, Season 3, Episode 1. Coming out the gate. Thank you.